Hey, what's up everybody? Wow, that was ledaswan. Hey, okay, we're live on KSYM. I'm Detronic and I'm here with Obi-Wan. And we are very happy to have our guests tonight, representatives for Local 782 in the house. We've got Erica, Jaime, and George.
I'm just playing with the mic, I apologize.
Erica and Jaime are from ledaswan, and we just actually heard a song from ledaswan. What was that song called? In fact, George, if you don't mind handing me over that playlist so I can kind of announce the last few songs we just heard, and then we'll start talking about it. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and we'll just announce the whole thing. We basically did a pretty huge chunk of music from the Local 782 CDs, yeah, both Volume 1 and 2. And we're going to keep playing more through the show. We're closing down on the first hour, but we're going to stretch out, take it into hour 2. We've got more talking, more questioning. So we started the set off with A Chord of Dissonance, a song called Off the Sun, and that was from Local 782 Comp 2.
Of the Sun.
Of the Sun.
I'm sorry for being hard on you today.
No, don't worry, we're gonna bring it right back at you in a minute when we start talking about Pop Pistol. Then we heard Kick It from, let's see, help me out with that one, it's a small writing. Anthem for the American Stalker.
Yeah.
And that's from Comp number 1. Then we heard Eggsham, Georgia, Comp 2. Verity, What's This, Local 782, Comp number 2. And then we just heard ledaswan, Where Birds Go, and that's from the Comp 1. ledaswan, wow, we've got Erica and Jaime from ledaswan. That's a cool track. I really like that sound.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We like it too.
Tell me a little bit about that song, Where Birds Go.
Where Birds Go.
How old is it? And where
it's not very old. I mean, I guess in the songwriting world, it's about a year old.
A little more than a year.
A little more than a year, yeah. And that's a song that David, or Jaime's brother, he also plays in the band, plays guitar, and he came up with the riff, and we kind of just fed off of each other, like the whole band, and we created that song,
wow,
Where
cool.
Birds Go.
Did you double track the vocals? Are you doing the lead and the backup vocals?
Yes.
Wow.
I do a lot of the backing vocals, but Jackie, she plays bass in our band. She also plays with Heather Goes Psycho, all-female punk band.
All right.
Anyway, she plays bass with us, and she
gotta
does
make
a lot
of that on Heather Goes Psycho. We need to get them down.
Yes, yeah. And so she does a lot of harmonies with me, and it's good. We've always had a female bassist and someone to sing along to. With me.
Cool, to kind of help to recreate what you do in the studio.
Right, right.
Tell me about your studio process. Is there an engineer in the band, or do you work with an engineer?
That's Jaime.
That would be me. We have a home studio, so the last album we recorded ourselves. We're recording the new album by ourselves.
Digital?
As well. Yeah, everything's digital. Running Logic, Apple Logic.
For recording.
For recording. Yeah, so we record all the drums first and then start layering everything on top of it.
Yeah. Do you go into the studio with a pretty good idea of the song structure, or do you guys create in the studio? Have you had the opportunity to sort of just spend that sort of time in the studio?
It kind of depends. We usually have like the basic structure of the song, but like we'll always, I will end up wanting to change some of the whole like vocal lines. Like I'll think it could be better as far as like melody wise, or I just get bored, or it's because we've just played them live and we haven't heard them as like on record, like tape or whatever you want to call it yet. And so I like to get really personally I love recording. Like I started recording first and recording my own music first and mixing and stuff. Yeah, it's like on a 8-track. But anyway, so I love recording for first and foremost, and then playing live came second for me. But I love both now.
That's really interesting, and that's something I always get a kick out of asking bands about when they come through, is because it is fascinating. I think a lot of people don't really think much further than say the record or the live show. But I always just kind of like to ask, when you do record, do you think about the stage? Are you thinking about how you're going to be able to translate that recorded music to the live setting? Or
not when I'm recording it. I don't really worry about that. I just try to be as creative as possible, like no boundaries in the studio. I mean, that's what's
awesome.
great about the studio.
We tend to write a lot as we're recording, which is why it's a good thing that we have our own equipment now, because it would cost us way too much money.
Yeah.
But because we have that luxury, we have really taken our time on this new record. So
Now you guys just played am I correct? You just played a show a few nights ago, or when was your last show?
we did an acoustic show at Bubblehead on 1st of January, New Year's Day.
Okay, all right, yeah, I thought I saw it. And when's your next show?
Actually, we are playing this
Friday night with Paw Pistol.
Oh, this is perfect, of course. Well,
Yeah.
why didn't somebody should have told me this? We could have been hyping that the whole time. So, all right, so we've got a double header, latest one.
We're
Paw
modest.
Pistol. Who else is playing? Anybody else on the venue, on the bill that night?
Just the two bands.
And where's that going to be?
At Jiggers.
Oh, Jiggers.
Jiggers,
Up north,
it's
sure.
yeah, north side.
Yeah, they're on Twitter too, I think. Twitter.com/Jiggers. That's a fun venue. I think they do a pretty fun Wednesday night open mic night. If everybody wants to go check that out, it's Linwood King from the Heroin. He kind of spearheads that, and you can just show up with your guitar. And
Cool. I didn't know that.
yeah, Wednesday night open mic up at Jiggers, and that's a fun. I've checked that out. It's a fun little scene. Of course, we had the Heroin down here a few months ago, and they pretty much just tore the studio was on fire. It was great. They just tore out the windows. They rocked out. They were great.
Those guys are amazing.
Yeah, they're a fun band. They were great. They put on a show in there like they would at Madison Square Garden. But yeah, so just while we're focusing on these compilation CDs right now, first we've talked about the organization a little bit, local 782, and we'll come back. I have a few more questions about that. But just in terms of these CDs, there's 2 volumes collected now. When did the first compilation come out? Who's the closest to that part of the project? George, you, Jaime?
Well, I kind of put that first one together.
You did? Okay, we got, all right, so now just let the people know, when did that go down, first of all? When did that process start?
I think it came out at like a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
We basically were getting the whole organization together, and we wanted to show basically all the bands that we had. We had a lot of really good bands, so we put a compilation together. It was a big experiment because when you put out these compilations, it's a lot of money involved as far as getting it printed. So we decided not to spend any money and just sell it online. So we released it on iTunes. So we released it digitally.
Interesting.
We had CD release parties with no CD.
Yeah.
It's like, this is our CD release party, but you can buy it on iTunes.
Right.
I mean, it was successful in the way that we put it together. We didn't sell 1 million albums, but it's available to the world, and it's still available. By the way, if you'd like to get it, go to iTunes and just search Local 782, and it'll come up.
Perfect. Just while we can just take a quick, I just need to do a station ID here. You, of course, are listening to KSYM San Antonio, 90.1. And we're coming from high above San Antonio College. We're staring out the window at the beautiful gleaming skyline of downtown San Antonio. It looks crazy tonight. Looks like a UFO hovering there right in front of me. But so the weather's lovely tonight too. It's 56 degrees out there, 8:02 in the evening. And of course we have Local 782 here, representatives from the local organization Local 782 right here in the studio live on KSYM. Obi-Wan is over here making sure everything goes down okay, and of course I'm D-Tronic, controlling the microphone. And you can follow, I put a picture up of where officially started live tweeting the show. You can go to twitter.com/dtronic with a K, and got a picture of the folks here in the studio. So going back to
we're video
oh, that's
streaming
right,
too.
live streaming. This is coming out.
You can
check this
see
out.
this on Ustream.
Hi, Mom.
.tv/channel/Jaime-from-ledaswan. Or if you're following us on Twitter, the links are on Twitter.
And that's going to be twitter.com
/ledaswan.
/ledaswan. Okay, and the info for the live stream is over there.
Right.
Twitter.com/ledaswan, and it's spelled just like it sounds.
LEDASWAN, because I always have to spell it for everyone.
What is that?
It's actually ledaswan.
Tell me about that name, that
FYI.
word. Just it's an intriguing name. Does it have a reference that I'm not? What is it?
It's just a band name. There's no. I mean, I just yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.